Let's do a track review here in 2013 Cover Killer Nation. This one coming exclusively from a good friend of mine, Marc Straight, who has been promoting these guys and is really getting deep into the promotion business. This is a guy where if you are considering a promotion job for somebody, he's someone to consider because he puts his all into his work and definitely puts his heart and soul and is very, very dedicated to the point of sleepless nights. So I have the utmost faith in this guy and his ability to really promote a band and do everything necessary in order to really complete that job. The band that we're talking about today is Are Droid with their new single Given is Given, Part 1. And this is off of their upcoming second album, which is coming out here in 2013, The Winter Ward, which I hope to review in its entirety once it's released. These guys released their debut album back in 2008 entitled Are Debut. They're from Europe. And they have kind of this this rock sound that definitely sounds as though it would be, I guess, typical. But whenever you consider what's typical here in America in the rock industry, especially whenever you consider whenever these guys were getting big or whenever these guys were first coming out in 2008 through MySpace hits and, really networking themselves through the online universe, this structure is a little bit more, I guess, low-key, I think, for what a lot of people would have listened to then. Now in 2012, whereas the scenescape has kind of shifted a little bit to something that has a little bit more of an indie feel, something that's a little bit more low-key, that doesn't necessarily have to have the harsh guitars and the harsh anthemic meaning behind it. It's kind of like turning back the clock a little bit, where you have a low-key song that really has the opportunity to go places because of a very soft kind of flowing hook that doesn't exactly deviate very much. It doesn't have to. It's able to kind of remain where it's at. That is interwoven with a powerful chorus. It's a structure that we've definitely heard before, but it's one that is not necessarily utilized enough in popular radio today. You don't necessarily need an anthemic chorus. In fact, it seems like there are many songs out there that are trying to have the whole song sound anthemic because I suppose they're thinking that we're too ADD of a society in order to have something that is slower that then goes into something powerful. This guy's voice reminds me a lot of Chris Martin from Coldplay, which is kind of a good thing because whenever you mix it with the instrumentalization that's behind it, it has a very good fit. This is definitely something that feels the part. It definitely has the part very well scouted out. And the music, unlike a lot of bands that are trying to, do their own thing behind the vocals, this is music that's sort of crafted behind the vocals a little bit. Definitely not making this gentleman kind of go further than where he needs to be and kind of go outside of his vocal ability just to showcase the musicianship. There seems to be a definite niche and a definite bond between these musicians where they know what their limitations are and they are still able to do plenty within those realms. Because of that, this song is one that flows very naturally. It has definitely an organic flow to it, and it feels very much like just a soft, nice song that you would hear on the radio and really enjoy. I would like to hear the full album, The Winter Ward, whenever it is released, because I have a feeling that the entire album would be able to boast a similar flow. I think it would be able to, I think it would be an easy listen, and by easy I don't mean that it's, so accessible that it's almost monotonous. I mean that this would be an album that it would have such a nice, flow to it. I know I use the word a lot, but flow is very, very important for an entire album. I mention it all the time in my album reviews. You need to have an album that is able to remain consistent enough and hold your attention throughout the entire duration of it, as opposed to just on certain keynote moments. In order to have an album truly have a great sound, a great presence, and a great feel to it. I have a feeling that this is a band that would be able to exhibit that. I don't think that this is a one-trick pony, so to speak, where this would be the song that everybody would know, whereas the other ones would maybe just fall short. I instead think that this would be very consistent. So for that reason, this is probably not a song that's going to be, making any real chart progress. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because whenever you consider what's out there and how monotonous it does become, this is almost a song and a band that is better suited for the underground, considering they have the chance to have a very, very die-hard core of fans that will eventually spread themselves out and, spread the disease to other people. And eventually, this is a band that's going to get a lot of widespread attention. I really like the construction of this song. It is something that will sound for a lot of people to be conceptually very basic, but for this band, as I mentioned, it really works. It's something that creates a very solid atmosphere. It's something that they don't have to do incredibly too much in order to really satisfy. You know, they're able to do this with a very simple product, and that simplicity actually works tremendously in their benefit. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, a little bit outside that metal universe, going to that rock and roll universe, consider checking out Are Droid. Pretty good band. I definitely give it my seal of approval. And Marc Straight, thank you for giving me this opportunity to listen to these guys, because it was definitely a pretty cool experience. If you get any information on when the album's supposed to drop, let me know, because I want to give the whole album a proper review. Thanks, guys, and we'll talk to you guys next time.